My mother was the Queen for a very long time. And although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much.
Did you know that one of Queen Elizabeth II's most startling final wishes remained hidden until Princess Anne decided to share it with the world? Today, we'll unravel the surprising reasons behind this wish, how it sent shockwaves through the royal family, and why Camilla found herself at the center of the storm. Stay with me until the very end to discover the full story behind this remarkable revelation. Let's start by taking a step back into the past. Long before cameras were trained on every royal appearance, and centuries of tradition shaped every move of the family behind palace walls, Queen Elizabeth II was a figure who reigned over the United Kingdom and Commonwealth realms for more than 70 years, a monarch whose life spanned from the tumultuous era of World War II into the digital age of social media. Through all of those years, she remained a steady presence in British public life, revered for her composure and dedication to duty. Yet for every public gesture of continuity she offered, there were private decisions that shaped the monarchy more than the public ever realized. One person who was always by her side, more quietly but just as diligently, was her daughter, Princess Anne. Known for her steadfast approach and no-nonsense attitude, Anne carved a niche for herself in a family that often placed its spotlight elsewhere, particularly on those closer to the throne, such as Charles. Despite this, Anne never wavered from her responsibilities, and her bond with her mother grew strong through shared values of service and duty. It wasn't unusual for Queen Elizabeth II to confide in her daughter, trusting Anne's calm judgment and level head. So, when Anne recently chose to speak openly about her mother's final wish, it caught the world off guard, because this was something the Queen, in her wisdom, had only entrusted to Anne. What exactly was this wish? In order to understand the magnitude of its effect on Camilla and the entire royal family, we have to understand the complexities surrounding the royals' shifting public image, the sometimes turbulent relationships, and how the monarchy has evolved over the decades. Queen Elizabeth II had been at the center of these evolutions for so long that her final wish was, in a sense, a blueprint for how the family should adapt after her passing. It was rooted in the belief that modernization was not merely a suggestion, but a requirement for the monarchy's survival in a rapidly changing world. When Elizabeth first ascended the throne in 1952, the royal family was a far cry from what we see today. Society was more rigid in its expectations, the press was less invasive, and the British Empire was still transitioning into the modern Commonwealth. Over the years, the Queen became a beacon of stability, often heralded as a symbol of national unity during times of uncertainty. From the Suez Crisis in the 1950s to various controversies surrounding royal marriages in the late 20th century, she steered the monarchy through both admiration and criticism. Although she maintained political neutrality, her moral leadership and sense of continuity helped her stay relevant. Behind closed doors, she was also a mother with her own hopes and concerns for the future of her children and grandchildren. Charles, as the heir to the throne, had a unique place in this arrangement. His childhood was defined by training for the day he would wear the crown himself, and by the intense public fascination with his personal life, especially after he married Lady Diana Spencer. That marriage, as the world knows, did not go smoothly, overshadowed by Charles's continuing affections for Camilla. The resulting scandal drew criticism toward the Windsors like never before, forever linking Charles and Camilla's names to public disapproval. Over time, public sentiment shifted, though grudgingly, and eventually the couple could present themselves more openly. Their marriage in 2005 was the culmination of years of controversy, but also a new beginning. Meanwhile, Princess Anne largely operated on the periphery of these tabloid storms, occupying a steadier, almost underestimated role. Though she was not first in line, Anne embraced her place with dedication. She became known for her work ethic, often undertaking more engagements than many senior members of the family. She possessed a no-frills approach to royal life, minimal fuss, maximum efficacy. This diligence was in no small part inherited from her mother, who famously put duty above all else. In times of crisis, Anne stood by the Queen, supporting the monarchy's reputation, be it during times of public backlash or interpersonal familial tension. That brings us to the final wish. According to Anne's disclosure, Queen Elizabeth II privately voiced concerns about what would happen after her passing. She was keenly aware of the media's influence, the public's shifting views on monarchy, and the importance of continuity. With William and Harry representing a new generation, and with Kate Middleton capturing public affection, Elizabeth recognized a crucial turning point. She knew that in order for the House of Windsor to remain stable and respected, it needed to reflect the broader public's values of compassion, authenticity, and openness. While the Queen appreciated traditions that bound the monarchy to its centuries-long heritage, she was equally attuned to the need for progress. For Camilla, now Queen Consort, this final wish signified a disruption in traditional hierarchies. Over the years, Camilla had worked diligently to be seen as supportive, charitable, and devoted to Charles and the institution. To some degree, she succeeded in altering public perception, but the shadow of the Diana years still lingered in the minds of many. When Anne revealed that Queen Elizabeth II's final wish heavily emphasized the role of Kate Middleton, and William by extension, Camilla felt it as a direct blow to her own position. For decades, Camilla had been quietly absorbing negative headlines, then slowly winning pockets of public empathy. But with Elizabeth's last wish placing Kate front and center, there was an implied conclusion that the future face of the monarchy would not be Charles and Camilla alone, but rather a younger, more widely adored couple, whose popularity might eclipse theirs. Why Kate Middleton? Simply put, Kate embodied many elements the Queen valued: discretion, duty, and a genuine warmth in her public interactions. Much like Elizabeth in her early years, Kate presented a calm presence, especially when standing alongside William. Over time, the Duchess of Cambridge, now Princess of Wales, demonstrated that she could adeptly handle media scrutiny, carry out significant charitable work, and remain approachable. From mental health initiatives to early childhood development advocacy, Kate built a reputation as someone sincerely devoted to causes that resonate with everyday people. Her middle-class background contrasted with the aristocratic environment she married into, granting her a relatable aura that has only grown over the years. Moreover, Elizabeth had closely observed Kate's ability to navigate the swirling vortex of royal drama, even in the face of rumors and tension, particularly whenever gossip arises about family rifts. Kate maintained decorum and rarely let personal emotions overshadow her work. In that sense, she mirrored the Queen's own stoic approach. This consistency and always keep calm philosophy helped Kate build trust, not only within the family, but also across the broader public. Thus, Elizabeth saw in Kate a continuation of her own ethos, a figure capable of anchoring the monarchy in the 21st century. Princess Anne, in revealing this final wish, spoke of how profoundly the Queen admired Kate's dedication to modernizing the royal image while upholding its age-old principles. It wasn't that the Queen dismissed Charles or Camilla's future roles. Elizabeth was a firm believer in following the line of succession, but she knew that symbolic leadership and popularity among the people were critical elements in preserving the monarchy's stability. William and Kate, as a pair, appeared much closer to that goal. Their modern fairy tale romance, which began at the University of St. Andrews, already had a built-in national and global following. Their marriage was a cause for celebration that united vast parts of the Commonwealth in optimism. Over the years, the birth of Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis only increased their visibility and rapport with the public, a phenomenon Elizabeth recognized and valued. Camilla, on the other hand, had always walked a thornier path. Though her public image had improved dramatically from the days of secret affairs and leaked phone calls, she never completely shed the negativity associated with Diana's tragedy. Some in Britain and elsewhere still held reservations about her place beside Charles. As a result, hearing that Elizabeth's final wish spotlighted Kate as a future anchor for the monarchy seemed to confirm something Camilla may have long feared, that no matter how much she tried, a part of the public would always see her in Diana's shadow, and perhaps now also in Kate's. So how exactly did the Queen express this wish? According to Princess Anne's account, Elizabeth was both reflective and optimistic in her final days. Despite her advanced age, she remained sharp, determined that she leave behind a monarchy prepared for generational change. She stressed that the monarchy wasn't just about the next person in line, Charles, but also about ensuring that younger royals step up to keep the institution relevant, compassionate, and relatable. For the Queen, the baton of moral and symbolic leadership was always larger than any one person. From her vantage point of experience, she believed the monarchy should be an evolving collective rather than a rigidly fixed hierarchy. She envisioned a world in which William and Kate, along with others like Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, Harry, despite any strains with the family, and even younger generation royals, would share responsibilities that once fell primarily on a reigning monarch and their spouse. The news of this final wish, however, underscored a delicate reality. The monarchy thrives on unity, but it's also subject to subtle rivalries and tensions that shape its internal politics. From Camilla's point of view, Every new piece of public adoration aimed at Kate might serve to reinforce a narrative that Camilla never fully earned her position in the public's eye. It doesn't help that the media persistently seeks friction, pitting royals against each other. For Camilla, the sense of displacement likely intensified after hearing that her mother-in-law placed so much confidence in someone else to guide the monarchy forward. Although Queen Elizabeth II never publicly undermined Camilla, actions, particularly those expressed in private final wishes, often speak louder than words. It's also important to note that none of this necessarily negates Charles's legitimacy as king. Elizabeth was never one to break or bend centuries of established convention regarding the line of succession. But it hints that she saw the monarchy as more than a single line. She saw it as a tree with multiple branches that needed nurturing. By championing Kate, Elizabeth was ensuring that even if the monarchy faced renewed criticism or controversy, there would be a fresh, beloved face to represent it, someone who can resonate with the younger generation. The monarchy can't survive on tradition alone in an era saturated with social media, instant updates, and 24/7 global news cycles. It needs a measure of warmth and familiarity, someone who can connect with families and individuals who might otherwise see the royal household as a distant relic of the past. Anne's decision to publicize her mother's words, while surprising, aligns with Anne's own sense of duty. She has never been one to indulge in tabloid sensationalism. When she does speak, it's often direct, serving a greater purpose than mere gossip. Perhaps Anne felt that the Queen's wish should be understood not only by the family, but also by the public, to demystify any undercurrents of tension that might surface once Charles and Camilla stepped into their roles. After all, clarity is often the best way to counter rumors. By laying it out in the open that Elizabeth believed Kate would be pivotal, Anne effectively let the world know this plan had the Queen's blessing. The revelation created immediate ripples. Public discussion ignited across social media platforms, talk shows, and royal watching circles. Many voiced their support for the Queen's perspective, praising Kate for her grace and empathy. Others questioned whether this overshadowed Camilla's rightful place beside Charles. Some even speculated if it might cause friction between William and his father as the monarchy's top tiers navigated a tricky new reality. After Elizabeth's passing, the institution entered a transitional period, and any perceived favoritism or special emphasis can sow seeds of misunderstanding or resentment. Royals, like any family, grapple with personal feelings, except in their case, the entire world is watching. From a broader perspective, Queen Elizabeth II's final wish reflects the fine line the monarchy walks between continuity and adaptation. For centuries, the crown has symbolized tradition, but Elizabeth understood better than most that without evolving, the monarchy would become a relic, losing its resonance for modern audiences. In shining a spotlight on Kate, she embraced a style of monarchy that is more personable, accessible, and engaged with contemporary social issues. William and Kate's focus on mental health, parenting, environmental concerns, and community building resonates with younger demographics who might otherwise be indifferent to royal pomp and ceremony. Camilla's reaction, as described by those close to the situation, was one of dismay and worry. She had spent years building a quieter, behind-the-scenes approach. She won approval from senior royals and gradually earned cautious acceptance from the British public. Nonetheless, the idea that Elizabeth envisioned the monarchy's future around Kate's capacity to lead and connect might well have felt like a slight or at least a pointed reminder that Camilla would remain overshadowed. Officially, of course, no one expects Camilla to voice frustrations in public. She conducts herself with the dignity expected of her station, yet the tension might surface indirectly over time. Subtle gestures, changes in scheduling, or behind-the-scenes negotiations can reveal how these final wishes play out in practice. In a sense, this development spotlights a broader question. How will the Windsors juggle tradition, popularity, and personal emotions in the years ahead? Charles is king, Camilla is queen consort, and yet the monarchy's long-term narrative seems to pivot on William and Kate, who are next in line. Princess Anne, having experienced decades of royal life, recognized the significance of sharing her mother's words. By doing so, she positioned herself as the messenger of a transformative idea, that the monarchy is secure not only through lines of succession, but through the individuals who have the ability to unite the public under a shared sense of purpose. Some observers believe that Camilla's best path forward is to continue what she's done best: support the monarchy wholeheartedly, advocate for important causes, and remain gracious in the face of inevitable comparisons. By doing so, she may further pave a road to acceptance, demonstrating that she works alongside the next generation, not against it. If she can embrace Elizabeth's final wish, appreciating Kate's role as a unifying force, then perhaps the monarchy can present a united front, even amid swirling tabloid speculation. Others think tension is unavoidable. The monarchy, like any institution shaped by hierarchical traditions, sometimes struggles to adapt to changing times without friction. In the court of public opinion, especially one shaped by social media's rapid judgments, a single misstep can echo loudly. Camilla knows that well, having spent years dealing with the repercussions of public disapproval. If the monarchy becomes a stage where multiple players vie for the spotlight, conflicts might intensify. Yet, there's a certain poetic resonance in the way Elizabeth's final wish underscores the values she championed. She was a monarch who balanced the old and the new, never deviating from her sense of duty, but also quietly encouraging modernization. She was the queen who broadcast her coronation in 1953, bringing pomp and circumstance into living rooms worldwide via television, and the same queen who recognized that the monarchy in the 21st century required a far deeper connection with people's everyday lives. By singling out Kate as a vital pillar, Elizabeth was essentially completing a circle of evolution she had set in motion decades before. Through all this, Princess Anne remains the voice of reason. She doesn't seek credit, nor does she appear eager to sow conflict. Instead, she seems genuinely intent on conveying her mother's intentions. If anything, this entire scenario affirms Anne's reputation as a reliable bridge between tradition and the future. She respects her mother's private counsel, yet believes the monarchy works best when everyone understands its direction, both those within the palace walls and those watching from across the globe. Will this final wish truly reshape the monarchy's course? Only time will tell. For now, the pieces are in place for a chapter that could see William and Kate ascend to an even more central role in public life, while Charles and Camilla navigate the complexities of reigning as a transitional generation. The Queen's parting words, as relayed by Anne, will undoubtedly loom large over each step they take. And now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Queen Elizabeth II's final wish will bring the monarchy closer to the public, or will it spark tension that challenges the Windsors? How do you think Camilla will respond to being overshadowed by Kate in the years to come? Share your opinions in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into the real stories behind the royal family. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to reading your thoughts.